Good afternoon, everyone. Dominic with Telarus, the Vice President for Business Development for Cybersecurity. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the final phase of the NIST cybersecurity framework of a good security program. Again, these are those 5 categories: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Today, we're going to talk about recover. We've already gone through identify, where those critical assets get identified. You define that security strategy. You put in the protective controls. You assume protection is going to fail. Now you've built the right detective capabilities because you're spending money across all 5 of these areas within a good security program. You're building the right detective capabilities. You're starting small, building your practices around that, and you're building your incident response capabilities alongside those detective capabilities, because as we talked about, incident response is only as good as your detective capabilities. And now that we've performed the incident response function, we've gone through, we've analyzed the incident, we now have declared the incident is over, we move into recovery. So the recovery includes a lot of different components, but at a very high level, some of the things you should be talking to your customers about are: have they brushed off their business continuity programs? Have they talked about their disaster recovery strategy in the 21st century, where we are today in July of 2020? Have they really looked at how capable they are of withstanding a disaster? Have they understood how partitioned off those critical data environments are from something like CryptoLocker? This is the time to offer consulting services to help them shore up the disaster recovery processes, because there will be an incident. There will be either an external notification about an incident or an internal team that identifies a critical failure inside an organization. And depending how far that incident goes, the disaster recovery component may need to be invoked. And so recovery is all about: how do we get our business processes and services back online and functioning as quickly as possible? So let's say we have an incident. Let's say we have several machines compromised inside of an organization. Let's include servers inside of that. So now we have to slice off those areas and consider those systems no longer part of our business function. They are no longer part of the ecosystem that serves the information to our customers. Whether we are part of a supply chain and needing to fulfill orders, or whether we have direct customers coming into us to place orders. We need to consider those servers and those applications out of service. Now that we do that, during this disaster, how do we continue functioning as a business? We better have the right disaster recovery plan. We better have the right people designated to invoke that plan, to manage that plan when a disaster occurs. And then we better have the right the right technology capabilities to implement that disaster recovery strategy. That disaster recovery strategy could be something as fundamental as moving an entire workload over to a different cloud environment. So a backup cloud environment now becomes the primary production cloud environment. This might be a cold backup, might be a warm standby system. These are critical considerations. Now you need to get into data recovery. Where does the data live? How quickly can you restore that real-time data to that now backup environment? All of this is what it means to recover. Now there are a lot more components, but that's the short version. And in recovery, what are we coaching our customers on? We're coaching them on the fact that we know protection is going to fail. We need to assume we're going to be compromised. Now the question we have to answer is: how quickly can we identify that compromise, respond to it, and recover from it? And we talked about our response is only going to be as good as our detective capabilities, and all of these elements imply that we've got the right people, the right processes, and the right technology. And most fundamentally, there is no such thing as perfect security. There is no such thing as ideal security. Yes, we're talking about these 5 buckets: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Yes, this is a framework called the NIST cybersecurity framework, and it is a great framework for organizations to adopt to implement a holistic security program. But most importantly, what we need to coach them on is that we can help them at every phase of their journey, and that good cybersecurity is about being adaptive. It's about being on a road march towards always getting better. It's a continuous improvement mindset. It's going from good to better to potentially great in the future, but never perfect. You can always improve your security posture, and every single incident, every single response and recovery that you need to do in a disaster scenario is a learning experience that can be a feedback loop to improve the overall resiliency of that cybersecurity program. At the end of the day, the whole point of the cybersecurity program is to ensure business continuity. And that's what recovery is all about: ensuring those business business functions, those business outcomes are sustained while a real-time threat has occurred inside of an organization. So a lot of pieces and parts we can talk about. Reach out to us here at Telarus. We'll help you with these conversations. Hope you found this useful, and go out there and make it an absolutely awesome day. See you later.